After what happened with Ben, I promised myself I would stop saying yes automatically. I had finally understood that being helpful did not mean being available all the time. That sounded simple. Actually, doing it was much harder. The following Monday, I got my first real test. It was one of those mornings when everything seemed to arrive at the same time. My manager had asked me to finish a project summary by the end of the day. I also had 2 meetings before lunch. And there was a spreadsheet I had been avoiding since Friday. By 10:15, my desk already looked like a warning sign. My notebook was open. My calendar was full. I had 3 tabs open for the project summary. And I had barely finished my coffee. That was when Rachel sent me a message. She wrote, "Hey, do you have a minute?" I stared at the message for a second. A week earlier, I probably would have replied, "Sure," immediately. But now I knew better. So I wrote, "I'm a little tied up right now. What do you need?" Rachel replied almost immediately, "I need a small favor." There it was, the phrase that always made me nervous, a small favor. I had learned that a small favor could mean almost anything. I wrote, "Sure, what is it?" A few seconds later, Rachel came over to my desk. She was holding a folder in her laptop. She said, "I have to send this client proposal by 1. Then she opened the file. It was long, very long. I scrolled down. There were 26 pages. Rachel said, "Could you just proofread it for me?" My first instinct was to say yes. I could already feel the word coming out of my mouth. But then I looked at my calendar. My next meeting started in 20 minutes. After that, I had another meeting, and I still had not started the project summary my manager needed. I knew what would happen if I said yes. I would rush through my own work. I would probably stay late, and I would spend the whole afternoon feeling stressed. So I took a breath. I said, "I'd love to help, but I'm pretty tied up today." Rachel looked at me. For 1 second, I wanted to take the sentence back. So I quickly added, "I have 2 meetings and a report due today." Rachel nodded. She said, "Oh, okay." That was it. No smile. No worries. Just, "Oh, okay." My stomach tightened. I immediately started wondering if I had sounded rude. Maybe I should have said it differently. Maybe I should have apologized more. Maybe I should have offered to stay late. Rachel closed her laptop. Then she said, "I'll ask around." I said, "Sorry." She gave me a small smile. Then she walked away. The whole conversation lasted less than 2 minutes, but I thought about it for the next 2 hours. During my first meeting, I barely heard half of what people were saying. Part of my brain was still replaying Rachel's face. Was she annoyed? Did she think I was selfish? Would she stop asking me for help? Then another thought came into my head. Maybe that would not be the worst thing. Then I felt guilty for thinking that. By lunchtime, I was exhausted from overthinking. I found Maya in the break room. She was making tea. I said, "Can I ask you something?" She looked at me and smiled. She said, "You look like you already asked someone something." I laughed. Then I told her everything. When I finished, Maya took a sip of tea. Then she said, "That sounds completely normal." I said, "Really?" She said, "Yes. You told her you were busy. That's allowed." I said, "But she looked disappointed." Maya shrugged. She said, "She probably was disappointed." That answer surprised me. Maya continued, "Someone can be disappointed without you doing anything wrong." I had never thought about it that way. I had always treated someone else's disappointment like proof that I had been rude, but those were not the same thing. Maya said, "The important part is how you say no." Then she gave me a few examples. "I'd love to help, but I'm tied up right now. I don't think I can take this on today. I can't do it this morning, but I could look at it tomorrow. I need to finish this first. Can we check again later? I'm at capacity today. Could someone else help with this one?" I repeated that last phrase. "I'm at capacity." Maya nodded. She said, "It just means you don't have room for more work right now." I like that phrase. It sounded professional, and it did not sound dramatic. Maya said, "You don't need a long explanation every time. A short reason is enough." That was another habit I had. Whenever I said no, I felt like I needed to prove that my reason was good enough. So I would explain too much. I would list every deadline, every meeting, every unfinished task, as if I were presenting evidence in court. Maya laughed when I told her that. She said, "You're allowed to be busy without writing a legal defense." That made me laugh too, but it stayed with me. Later that afternoon, Rachel messaged me again. For a second, I got nervous. Then I opened the message. She wrote, "All good. Mark helped me with the proposal." Then she added, "Thanks anyway." I stared at the screen. That was all. No conflict, no damaged relationship, no secret office drama. She had needed help. I had not been available, so she found someone else. That was it. For the first time, I realized how much stress I created by trying to control how everyone felt about me. If someone asked for help, I wanted to say yes. If someone looked disappointed, I wanted to fix it. If someone sounded quiet, I assumed I'd done something wrong. That was exhausting, and it was not necessary. A few days later, I got another chance to practice. A coworker stopped by and said, "Could you help me review something this afternoon?" I checked my calendar. I already had a deadline at 4, so I said, "I don't think I can take that on today." Then I added, "But I could look at it tomorrow morning if that helps." My coworker said, "Tomorrow works," and the conversation was over. No guilt, no 10-minute explanation, no panic, just a clear answer that felt surprisingly good. Since then, I have started thinking about no differently. At work, saying no does not always mean refusing to help. Sometimes it means, not right now. Sometimes it means, I can help later. Sometimes it means, I need to finish my own work first. And sometimes it simply means, I do not have the capacity for this. The words matter, but the tone matters too. You can be warm, you can be respectful, and you can still protect your time. Now, if I need to say no, I try to keep it simple. I'd love to help, but I'm tied up right now. I don't think I can take this on today. I can help tomorrow if that works. I need to finish this first. Simple, clear, polite. And usually enough. But I was about to learn one more uncomfortable lesson. Because sometimes, even when you say no politely, the other person really does act differently afterward. And when that happened to me, I had no idea whether I had done the right thing. If this story helped you, subscribe and come back for more real-life office English. In the next episode, I'll tell you what happened when a coworker suddenly became much colder after I said no. See you in the next episode.